our siblings, get curious because today's cosmic journey begs the question, what does it mean when Venus, the planet of love and pleasure, travels through the sign that rules both the Lover's card and the Magician card in the tarot? Well, embody Gemini and listen up, because in this video, we'll learn all about it, unveiling the deeper message behind this transit and what it says about our love lives and the type of pleasure we are primed to manifest. So today, we'll embark on the profound journey of Venus through the sign Gemini in June 2024. This video has 3 parts. We'll begin by understanding the Gemini energy and its esoteric associations relative to us. Then we'll look at the chart to follow Venus's journey through Gemini and the astrological aspects occurring throughout this month, including the Gemini new moon. And lastly, we'll study Venus in depth and learn about her synodic cycle known as the Venus star point. How her Cazimi moment will shift Venus out of her morning star position and into her more pleasurable evening star. I'm excited because overall, this celestial season promises to ignite a new and curious chapter in our love lives, enchanting us with childlike, playful energy and reminding us of what it's like to love life. Also because, as a Libra rising, Venus is my chart ruler, and I'm a natal evening star. And I have a stellium of planets in my 3rd house, making Gemini energy prominent in my chart. So watch out, because it sure sounds like I'm about to glow up. But I don't want to jinx it, so fingers crossed. So let's be like Gemini and have fun gossiping about the cosmos, shall we? Oh wait, but first, please be so kind to hit that thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel. And then introduce yourself in the comments because I would love to meet you.
Thank you.
Now, let's begin by exploring the vibrant and dynamic energy of Gemini. Once we know the archetypal energies and esoteric symbolism associated with Gemini, together we'll be able to understand the influence this sign is having on Venus and our lives. And let me just say, there is a way bigger story playing out beyond all of this too. Which, if you continue to follow my work, you'll learn all about what I mean. Just want to give you a heads up now how this is the fundamental information you'll need to understand, not just what's up with this month, but also what's setting us up for so much more well into the future. Throughout this video, we'll get hints into how Venus's transit through Gemini, along with her relationship with Mercury, the planetary ruler of this sign, is setting the stage for global change. So let's talk all about it. Governed by Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, Gemini is an air sign that embodies curiosity, versatility, and a thirst for knowledge. The sun travels through this sign every year around May 21st through June 20th. This mutable sign encourages us to embrace flexibility, adaptability, and novelty in our interactions and relationships. Gemini energy is playful, quick-witted, and often restless. It's an energy that thrives on mental stimulation and variety, which is why it could be stated that Gemini energy is very ADHD, which actually tends to show up in an individual's chart through Mercury Retrograde. Let's just say I'm cold hard proof of that. Though it's important to note that that's not to say that everyone with Mercury Retrograde has ADHD, but it is an indicator, in case you didn't know. Gemini rules over the 3rd house in astrology. The 3rd house focuses on communication, learning, and our local environment. It shapes our interactions, intellectual pursuits, and relationships with siblings and close relatives. Understanding the 3rd house offers insights into our mental processes and how we engage with the world around us. This is why people with prominent Gemini energy tend to voice their mental processes as if their mind was on speaker. Now, let's go deeper to understand the energy of Gemini in relation to its planetary ruler, Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, symbolizing intellect, communication, and connectivity. This archetypal energy enhances our ability to articulate our thoughts, exchange ideas, and navigate social dynamics with ease. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, completing an orbit in just 88 Earth days. And this number, 88, is actually quite ironic. Just wait, you'll see what I mean. But anyway, This proximity to the sun means Mercury experiences extreme temperatures and rapid shifts between day and night. Its swift orbit and fast rotation make it a fitting symbol for quick thinking, adaptability, and change. Mercury's energy is not just about spoken or written words. It's about the transmission of ideas and the bridging of different perspectives. Hence the joke, squirrel. Truth. This makes Gemini season a time for lively conversations, intellectual pursuits, and the blossoming of new connections. In astrology, Mercury rules over 2 signs, Gemini and Virgo. Each sign highlights different aspects of Mercury's influence. Gemini, the air sign, focuses on communication, curiosity, and social interactions. Mercury in Gemini is expressive, adaptable, and intellectually curious. Virgo, an earth sign, emphasizes analytical thinking, organization, and attention to detail. Mercury in Virgo is precise, methodical, and practical. Mercury is also known as the Greek god Hermes. Mercury's role as the divine messenger underscores his association with communication, travel, and the transmission of information. Now, with all that in mind, we can see how Gemini and Mercury are associated with the Magician card in the tarot. This card is number 1 in the major arcana, symbolizing new beginnings, potential, and the power of creation. The card features a figure standing confidently with one hand pointing to the sky and the other to the earth, representing the phrase, as above, so below. This gesture signifies the ability to channel divine energy and manifest it into the physical world. Above the magician's head is the infinity symbol, representing a limitless potential and the infinite nature of the universe. This seems to nod back to the number of days it takes Mercury to orbit the sun, not just because the number 8 is associated with the infinity symbol, but also because Gemini embodies the dual nature of the twins, which we'll talk more about that later. But first, let's finish this train of thought before we go down a whole nother tangent, which, by the way, is so Gemini and me, which I guess you just witnessed my speaker brain telling me what not to do. Okay, but back to the point. The magician embodies the ability to turn ideas into reality through intention, action, and the use of available resources. The magician emphasizes the power of communication. Effective articulation of thoughts and ideas is crucial for manifesting desires into physical form. This card reminds us that we all have the tools we need to create our desired reality. By harnessing our intentions, taking action, and communicating effectively, we can bridge the gap between the spiritual and material worlds and bring our dreams to life. With all this creative energy combined with Venus, the planet of desire and pleasure, in Gemini, we can take advantage of this powerful energy to manifest and attract what we want into reality. I think this practice of co-creation will work best when we are aligning our intentions to the Libra type Venusian qualities related to air sign topics, such as love and harmony in relationships. Though we can also use this time to manifest material luxuries, such as money and beautiful things, because Hermes, after all, is also the god of commerce. But he's also associated with thieves and trickery, reflecting the versatile and multifaceted nature of this energy. Mercury's trickster traits highlight its dual nature. The trickster is a boundary crosser, challenging norms and playing with perception. This energy can be mischievous and deceptive, reminding us to stay sharp and discerning. This dual nature of Gemini is embodied in its symbol as the twins. In Greek mythology, the twins are associated with Castor and Pollux. They were the twin sons of Leda, but they had different fathers. Castor was mortal, the son of Tyndareus, the king of Sparta, while Pollux was immortal, the son of Zeus, the king of the gods. The story goes that the twins were inseparable and shared a deep bond, constantly seeking new experiences and information. They embarked on numerous adventures together, showcasing their complementary strengths and unity. When Castor was killed, Pollux was inconsolable. Moved by Pollux's grief, Zeus allowed him to share his immortality with Castor, and they were placed in the sky as the constellation Gemini, symbolizing their eternal bond. So the twins symbolize duality and balance, key themes in the Gemini archetype. And this duality can manifest in various forms. Firstly, with intellect and emotional balance. Gemini encourages us to balance our intellectual pursuits with emotional understanding. It's a sign that values mental stimulation and emotional connection equally. Also with the dual nature of light and shadow. Just as the twins have contrasting aspects, mortal and immortal, Gemini invites us to embrace both our light and our shadow sides. This includes recognizing and integrating different facets of our personality. Also with its play on adaptability and versatility. The twins represent these traits of Gemini. This sign can easily switch between different roles, perspectives, and situations, embodying a dynamic and multifaceted nature. The youth of the twins draw to Gemini's connection to elementary education, along with communication, learning, and connection. The twins emphasize the importance of interpersonal relationships and the exchange of ideas. They remind us that through dialogue and interaction, we can grow and evolve. Gemini's symbol encourages an insatiable curiosity and a love for learning. The twins inspire us to explore diverse topics, gather knowledge, and share our discoveries with others. The twins highlight the importance of social connections, and Gemini thrives on interactions, building networks and fostering a sense of community and collaboration. Which is why we hear Gemini is associated with social media. Through the study of astrology, we begin to see the symbol of the twins as a reminder of the dual nature inherent in all of us. It speaks to our capacity to hold multiple perspectives, to adapt to various situations, and to connect with others on multiple levels. Gemini inspires us to seek balance, embrace our multifaceted selves, and to remain open to the ever-changing flow of life. Now we can totally see, too, how Gemini aligns perfectly with the Lovers card in the tarot. Seeing how the Lovers card represents duality, choice, and harmony. It speaks to the balance of opposites and the integration of diverse aspects of ourselves and our relationships. The Lovers card is the number 6 in the major arcana. And in astrology, the number 6 just so happens to be the house of Virgo. Remember the co-ruled sign of Mercury? The Lovers card portrays harmony and meaningful connections through its imagery, typically featuring a man and a woman standing under an angel who blesses their union. There are 3 major themes of the Lovers card. 1, obviously, love and relationships. The card highlights deep emotional bonds, romantic partnerships, and the harmony between 2 people. It can signify a significant relationship or a soulmate connection. The second thing is choices and decisions. The Lovers also represents major life choices, especially those related to relationships, values, and personal integrity. It encourages making decisions aligned with one's true self and higher good. And third, this card also represents unity and balance, emphasizing the importance of unity, balance, and harmony in relationships. It reminds us of the power of coming together and creating something greater than the sum of its parts. Overall, this card represents deep emotional bonds, romantic relationships, and the choices that come with them. Now, with all that in mind, we can gather how Venus in Gemini might play out in the real world as two-faced behavior and trickery, as well as a time of heightened love affairs in relationships, since the mischievous and playful energy of Gemini can sometimes lead to deception, duplicity, and superficiality. During this transit, be mindful of love affairs, players, and two-faced potentials. It's a time when the lines between truth and illusion may blur. I don't know about you, but I find this incredibly fascinating how all of this ties together. Like, even stemming back to the mythology, seeming to seed the creation of all of it, from the dual paternal twins birthed by the adulterate mother. It's wild. It's crazy. I love it. Well, not particularly what this message is saying, but just how it all comes together. It's just so cool. Please tell me I'm not alone on this, guys. It's cool, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. Anyway, this kind of deceitful behavior is obviously not going to be the case for everyone, thankfully. However, the potential for this type of behavior is heightened at the collective level. So it's just something that we should be aware of at this time. not just in our romantic relationships, but also with relationships of all kinds. This trickster energy reminds us to stay vigilant and discerning in our relationships. While it's a period ripe for exploration and adventure, it's essential to maintain integrity and authenticity. And that reminds me to mention my earrings. This pair of earrings I named Two-Faced enamel earrings, and I sell them on my website, stellasage.com. I named them this because the enamel color, it only covers half, I don't know if you can see this, it only covers half the middle. Hence, Two-Faced. And they come in quite a few colors, so go check them out if you think they're cute. But even if you don't, just be two-faced and tell me that you do anyway. No, don't actually do that. Be truthful and authentic. Even if it hurts my feelings, I'll be okay. But on the positive side, this transit can also be indicating a strong potential for twin flame unions and deepening of soulmate connections and relationships of all kinds. I am telling you, get ready for the world to change before our eyes as more and more of us awaken to unity consciousness. The level of consciousness required to ascend to the 5D Earth. It's happening. I promise. I don't have to see it to believe it. I know. I just know. The last topic of importance is how the twins embody a sense of playfulness and youthfulness. This energy encourages us to approach life with a sense of wonder and excitement. It's about embracing the joy of discovery and the thrill of new experiences. Gemini energy is lighthearted. Gemini teaches us not to take life too seriously. The twins remind us to find joy in the little things and to maintain a sense of humor. This is also an energy that reminds us of the importance to stay flexible and to embrace spontaneity. And this is what the twins represent. Gemini energy is adaptable and open to change, encouraging us to be spontaneous and to just embrace the unexpected. And based on the youthful nature of the twin boys, their appearance is considered to be gender neutral. And this is in part how Mercury is associated with androgyny, embodying both masculine and feminine qualities. This duality enhances its flexibility and adaptability, allowing it to transcend traditional gender roles and embrace a more fluid and inclusive identity. Now, this is the aspect that leads me to believe that Venus in Gemini is seeding some major global changes related to gender identity, sexuality, and procreation. That's a topic for another video, but if you're curious to hear more about it, then start by watching my Battle of the Sexes video, as well as my Astro-Ancestry video, as these lay a great deal of the groundwork, which is setting the stage for my next video on this topic. I'll leave the links to these in the description below. And to be honest, I think these are my best videos to date, with loads of info. But it seems the algorithm doesn't like them, for a reason unknown to me. So check them out and let me know what you think. I would love you for it. So anyway, Mercury's energy association with androgyny blurs the boundaries between traditional gender roles. Gemini's open-mindedness encourages us to embrace and celebrate diverse expressions of love and desire. With the many aspects that Venus in Gemini is making this month, this is a time when we can find ourselves more bi-curious, with an increased potential for exploring sexuality more fluidly. And maybe you're like, me? No way. And if that's the case, you could just be noticing it more in others around in your local environment. We could also find a gender-neutral style more attractive at this time, and we may feel inclined to shop for androgynous fashion this month and adding it into our wardrobe. Whatever the case, this is a time to honor our true selves, free from societal constraints, and to explore the full spectrum of our sexual nature, our romantic identities, and our physical style. Overall, we can see how Gemini energy and Mercury, the swift and versatile messenger of the gods, plays a crucial role in our daily lives. From communication and intellect to travel and commerce, this influence is far-reaching and dynamic. So as we navigate the currents of the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter all transiting through Gemini, I say, let's harness the power to enhance our connections, broaden our minds, and adapt our relationships and sense of beauty to the ever-changing flow of life. And speaking of all of those planets transiting through Gemini, now let's take a look at the charts so we can quickly make a mental note of the astrology occurring throughout the month of June. I want to focus mainly on Venus, since she's predominantly the one triggering the energy throughout the month. But first, let me just point out this once-in-a-lifetime transit that begins the month with Jupiter, which only recently shifted into Gemini, by the way, and naturally opposes this sign, dealing with the higher mind and the ruler of the 9th house, and associated with exploration, long-distance travel, philosophy, higher education, and the search for meaning. So you can see how its themes are similar to Gemini, Mercury, and the 3rd house, just more sophisticated. So on June 2nd, Jupiter forms an exact trine with Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degrees and 52 minutes. Since these planets both move slower than the personal planets, especially Pluto, this aspect will continue to play out over the course of the next few weeks, and having a lasting impact at the collective level. Plus, these two planets are still forming a tight orb sextile to Neptune, which I talked about in my last video. This harmonious aspect between these 3 planets is initiating the most ideal, lucky, and powerful energy into the collective field. Ideal, lucky, power. If you embrace this opportunistic trine, you can co-create with the cosmos, inviting a harmonious blend of intellectual expansion, unity consciousness, and transformative power into your life. This aspect promotes innovative ideas, effective communication, and significant societal progress. So embody this energy to facilitate positive change and growth, both personally and collectively. But now back to Venus. Let's explore the significant conjunctions involving her this month. Each conjunction brings unique influences and opportunities for growth and transformation in our love life, relationships, and beauty. But wait, soon you'll see just how much she truly is the star of the show. Literally. Venus in Gemini brings a lighthearted and flirtatious energy to our relationships. This transit enhances our charm, wit, and sociability, making it an excellent time for mingling and making new connections. One of the most potent aspects this month is the Venus Cazimi, when Venus forms an exact to the minute conjunction with the Sun. This happens on Tuesday, June 4th at 14 degrees and 29 minutes of Gemini. When a planet is Cazimi, it is considered to be in the heart of the Sun, receiving a special infusion of solar power and vitality. This alignment infuses Venus with renewed energy and strength, as if she's being reborn. Well, she is. And it's amplifying the influence of this energy in our lives. It's a time of heightened clarity and illumination in matters of the heart. This celestial encounter symbolizes a rebirth or renewal of our romantic and aesthetic desires, and is a powerful opportunity to set new intentions for love and beauty. What's so special about this time is that Venus and the Sun will continue to be traveling side by side all month, and Mercury himself will be joining the party on June 14th for his Cazimi moment at 24 degrees 6 minutes, happening in his very home sign. Mercury Cazimi in Gemini boosts mental agility and adaptability. It's easier to juggle multiple tasks, switch between topics, and think on your feet. This alignment also brings enhanced clarity, insightful breakthroughs, and vibrant social interactions. So use this period to express your ideas, expand your knowledge, and find yourself connecting with others more effectively. This is also an excellent period for studying, learning new skills, and acquiring knowledge, as the mind is particularly sharp and receptive to new information at this time. These themes are doubly so on June 17th, when both these freshly reborn planets, Venus and Mercury, form a conjunction at the last degree of Gemini, just before hitting exact in the next sign, Cancer. When Venus conjuncts Mercury in Gemini, the focus is on playful communication and mental connection. This aspect enhances our ability to express love and affection through our words, fostering deeper understanding and intimacy. As they both move into Cancer and make an exact conjunction, the energy shifts to emotional nurturing and heartfelt communication. It's a time to prioritize emotional safety and comfort in our relationships, creating a secure and loving environment. Gemini's youthful energy and Cancer's nurturing nature makes this transit a favorable time for matters related to family, specifically talk about children. Whether it's planning for a family, nurturing existing relationships with children, or exploring our inner child, this transit encourages us to embrace the joy and wonder of our lives with childlike optimism. It's a time to foster creativity, playfulness, and emotional connection with the young ones in our lives. Again, this aspect sets me up to talk about my theory related to this upcoming global mutation that'll be occurring in our solar plexus and impacting gender dynamics, unity consciousness, and procreation. I'm not going to get into it now, even though I want to, But in the meantime, just go watch those other videos I mentioned before so that you can catch up to my thought process. But before Mercury totally jumps into the equation, it'll first be just Venus with the Sun forming a conjunction with the new moon in Gemini on June 6th at 16 degrees. New moons are basically a moon Cazimi. See, anytime the Sun conjuncts a celestial body, it becomes a potent opportunity for your manifestation practice. It's the most ideal time to plant new seeds, embedding your desires into the very beginning of a new cycle. With Venus so close in proximity to this new moon, it'll create a powerful synergy of new beginnings and fresh starts in matters of the heart. This is a potent time for setting intentions related to love, communication, and intellectual or creative pursuits. This conjunction invites us to plant seeds of curiosity and openness to our relationships, to embrace new experiences and perspectives in love, money, and beauty. So look to where 16 degrees Gemini occurs in your chart for more details about the house placement referring to what area of your life will be most impacted in the ways previously mentioned. With the new moon taking place on June 6th, we're opening this lunation cycle with the 6-6 numerology portal. 6 is the number associated with the 6th sign of the zodiac. Again, that mercurial sign, Virgo. In numerology, the number 6 is associated with harmony, balance, love, responsibility, and nurturing energy. It carries a vibration of caring, healing, and service to others, as well as personal development. The 6-6 portal amplifies these themes, creating a powerful opportunity for spiritual growth, nurturing relationships, and personal development. But this brings me to the final part of this video, where I talk about Venus's synodic cycle and the Venus star point. A Venus Cazimi marks a significant moment in her overall synodic cycle, which at its fullest extent happens to be the longest planetary synodic cycle to play out, initiated by the Cazimi aspect, lasting approximately 108 years. Understanding the synodic cycle of the Venus star point is an intricate dance between Venus and the Sun, forming a beautiful geometric pattern, a rose-petaled flower, or a pentagram, known as the Venus star. This 108-year cycle only recently renewed itself as it switched signs in 2022, creating the Libra Venus star point, which will continue to play out in this sign well past our time, till the year 2131. The Venus star point represents a cycle of transformation and evolution in our values, relationships, and desires. This new cycle marks a period of significant change and growth in the areas influenced by both Venus and the sign Libra. Libra, symbolized by the scales, is all about balance, harmony, and relationships, and emphasizes beauty, aesthetics, and diplomacy. Librans are known for their social skills, fairness, and their ability to create and maintain harmonious environments and relationships. It also governs legal matters and the justice system, as well as peace and mediation. Overall, the synodic cycle of Venus influences our relationships, values, and creative expressions. And understanding this cycle helps us to align with the natural rhythms of love and attraction. The synodic cycle of Venus is multi-layered. And one of these layers refers to the period it takes for Venus to return to the same position relative to the Sun, as it's seen from Earth. This cycle lasts approximately 584 days, during which Venus goes through several distinct phases, including its conjunctions with the Sun and Earth. And over the course of 8 years, Venus aligns with the Sun at 5 distinct points, forming a near-perfect pentagram. And this aspect occurs on each point of the star approximately 1.6 years apart from one another, falling in different zodiac signs. Each point of the star represents a specific moment in Venus's cycle and influences those particular astrological signs and areas of life. Collectively, the Venus star point reflects shifts in cultural and societal values, aesthetics, and relationships. On a personal level, it can indicate pivotal moments in love, creativity, personal values, and relationships. The sign and house where the Venus star point occurs in an individual's chart highlight these themes in ways associated with that sign and area of life, making those aspects particularly important for them. We all have a natal Venus star point, and the sign and house where the Venus star point occurs in an individual's chart highlight these themes in relation to the sign and area of life it falls in. making those aspects particularly important during this lifetime. During its synodic cycle, Venus goes retrograde for about 40 days around the time of its inferior conjunction. Retrograde periods are times for reevaluation, introspection, and revisiting past relationships and values. This last occurred in the sign Leo, which happened last summer. So to explain the key phases of the Venus synodic cycle and where we're at in the cycle now, let's start there with the inferior conjunction. This occurs when Venus is directly between the Earth and the Sun. During this phase, Venus transitions from being an evening star to a morning star, and is the closest to Earth, but invisible due to its proximity to the Sun, just like a new moon. After the inferior conjunction, Venus appears in the morning sky before sunrise. This phase lasts for about 263 days, and represents new beginnings and the initiation of desires and values. As the morning star, Venus is assertive, dynamic, and initiates these new beginnings. The morning star version of Venus is associated with the other sign she rules, Taurus, which is an earth sign. And this is because its energy is more tangible during this phase. The next phase is the superior conjunction. This you can think of as sort of like a full moon in terms of where Venus sits in comparison to the Sun in the zodiacal wheel. This occurs when Venus is on the opposite side of the Sun from Earth. So here, Venus is farthest away from Earth, but is also invisible due to the Sun's glare. And this phase symbolizes a period of reflection and integration of experiences. Following the superior conjunction, Venus appears in the evening sky after sunset. This phase lasts for about 263 days and symbolizes fulfillment, relationships, and the manifestation of desires. As the evening star, Venus is more receptive, sensual, and focused on harmony. The evening star version of Venus is associated with the air sign Libra, as the energy is more transcendental. On June 4th, Venus will be forming the superior conjunction in the sign Gemini. And this is when we'll see Venus shift out of her morning star position and into her evening star gown. And I'm just saying gown because I don't know, I like the way that it sounds. I'm just being ridiculous. But I just think of like an evening gown, and she's the more like feminine, receptive energy in the evening star state. That's how I envision her in the evening star, so just go with it, okay? So, make fun of me, whatever. I don't care. This transition occurring in Gemini emphasizes intellectual connections and mental stimulation in our relationships. It's a time to value communication, shared ideas, and mutual curiosity. So as we navigate Venus's transit through Gemini, let's embrace the curiosity, playfulness, and intellectual stimulation it brings. This is a time to ignite new sparks of love, explore diverse expressions of affection, and communicate openly with our hearts. If you liked today's cosmic exploration, please let me know in the comments. Not only would I love to hear your thoughts, but I also noticed that it helps trigger the algorithm to push my content out and get seen by more people. So I really appreciate your help. It takes me a lot of time to put these videos together, and I really want as many people to benefit from it. But if you're the quiet type, no worries, just hit that thumbs up to let me know that you liked it. And subscribe to my channel for more content similar to this. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again very soon. In the meantime, shine bright, star siblings, spreading your love and light and creating more beauty in the world. Namaste.